saw that the market, the cloud market, was shifting. And this, I think, was really interesting. I think for any really game-changing technology, this cloud-specific, but I think it's true for any ground or really innovative, really revolutionary technology. So you're going to have these kind of 3 stages. You're going to have the first stage, which I call prelude here, where a new technology comes around. It's really interesting. People start investigating it, try to figure out if this is really going to be the next great thing, the best thing since sliced bread. And they start investigating it. People are curious. Then the early adapters start using this technology. It's used for testing and POCs by the more traditional customers. And then it becomes the preferred platform or technology for the innovators and the disruptors. Those customers will normally have the benefit of being greenfield customers. Those are kind of customers who can either start from scratch because they are new, or they have the luxury of building everything from scratch, throwing away whatever they had and build everything from scratch again. That's a luxury that most customers don't have. And then in the end of that phase, everyone decides that this is really the next great thing. This is the best thing since sliced bread. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. And then you go into the next phase, which I think we saw around 2016. Everyone agreed that the hyperscaler cloud was going to be the thing. Everyone was going to end up on the hyperscalers. It was just a matter of time. And since everyone agreed upon that, the only way you could do it better was by being faster. So the faster you could get there, the better off you would be. The more you could consume of hyperscaler, the better you would be. Then you got the cloud-first strategies. Since you knew that that was the end goal anyway, everything, all internal projects, all initiatives were directed at ending up on the cloud. Success was then measured in how much of your business you could move to the hyperscaler. Of course, as the vendors saw this, the vendors saw that all the customers were going this way. They needed to support this. So the vendor strategy became creating tooling and solutions to help customers achieve their cloud-first strategy. So they shifted towards creating multi-cloud support, migration tooling, consumption tooling, things like that. This is also often referred to as the mature period. I don't think that is entirely true. It's partly true. The cloud was mature, but the customers and the market wasn't necessarily mature. Then in 2021, around there, I think we saw this shift in the market. That the cloud perception became a bit more diverse, fragmented. And the future of cloud, most customers saw that it wasn't necessarily going to be hyperscaler only. It was going to be partly hyperscaler, but there will also be a need for local clouds, industry cloud for specific industries, sovereign clouds, etc. And in this phase, companies shifted from cloud-first strategy, the cloud for cloud's sake, to using whatever is best for the business. Use cloud, and the hyperscaler clouds are still going to be the best use case, and they're still going to be the biggest part of the market. But it's not going to be because cloud for cloud's sake. It's going to be because it can bring added value to your business. And in this phase, you're back to a more traditional approach. Success is measured in profitability. If the cloud will bring added value, it will bring added profitability, then of course you go there. But then you need to figure out what cloud will actually bring you the most value. And old school values like stability, cost, compliance, closeness, both in terms of closeness to your data and closeness to your vendors, came back in fashion. Hadn't been a lot of talk about that for the last 5 years. And this is what I would call a mature market. So we saw that the customers needed something different. They needed an alternative. They would still want all the great things that they had come to love with the hyperscalers, but they needed something on top, something different, an alternative. In addition to that, of course, you saw there's a lot of focus on data locality. This is what we saw back in 2020, 2021. And the trend continues. This is just going to get more of focus, and it's just going to get, there's going to be more regulations, more focus on this going forward. And lots of customers see that as well. And of course, you want to be future ready. You don't want to end up in a situation where you need to migrate all your data because of a new regulation. You need to be in front of what new regulations will come in the upcoming years. This is what we've ended up with. Our consumable compute cloud. This is our on-prem, in our data center, local cloud alternative. It's an alternative to Amazon or Azure. Nothing fancy, it's just another cloud. It's a slightly simplified version. You don't have the brilliant ecosystem of software as a service and PaaS services necessarily that you have in Amazon or Azure, but it gives you our aim has been to be on feature parity with Amazon EC2, and it is. You can consume VMs, containers, network services, advanced network services like load balancing, microsegmentation, all of that. It has proven to be really flexible. We have built our own in-house platform for our own employees. We did that first as part of a POC. I handed it over to all the employees. Said, you can get a tenant instead of using Amazon for your hobby projects or your testing, whatever you want to do. Here you have your own. And our employees are really creative. They come up with a lot of really cool, interesting, and sometimes slightly crazy use cases for that. And we see that this platform has been able to cater for all of their needs. And that pretty much proves the flexibility part. It's predictive. This is really important. We've aimed at keeping it really simple, both simple in the term of technology, being able to use it, configure it, but also in the cost sense. We focused on 3 main cost elements: vCPU, memory, storage. How many vCPUs do you need? How much memory do you need? How much storage do you want to store? That's it. No surprise cost elements. Nothing that will be hard to predict. If you know how much workload you have, you'll know how much it's going to cost. This month, next month, and in a year. No egress charge. No cost of bringing your data back from the cloud or putting it up there in the first place. The look and feel of hyperscalers. Yeah. Nothing fancy, but it's all there. You have the APIs, really nice web UI, thanks to VMware. Terraform provider. You have it. You can use it just as you can use any other cloud. But it's local. And it's, for a lot of cases, really cost effective. Yeah, local delivery. It's all inside of our data centers, all operated by local personnel. It's certified as a sovereign cloud by VMware. This is production ready now in Norway, so if you want it, you can have it tomorrow. We are going to build it in Sweden next, and then it will be completely local in Sweden, and having the same sovereign status inside of Sweden. Hybrid cloud, this is, of course, a perfect part of a bigger hybrid cloud environment. We have the Cloud Connect service, enabling you to connect this cloud environment to whatever Amazon or Azure tenant you have, to any data center in Europe. And even more interesting, I think, is connecting it to our managed cloud. As I said, this is our new offering, the self-service sovereign cloud. But of course, we have the traditional part, which we are more known for, producing managed services, where we take full responsibility of the service up to the agreed service level. These two can, of course, be combined into a hybrid cloud, a hybrid local cloud. It will be pretty much as if you had an environment with a traditional service provider and then something in Amazon, except for the fact that you will have both of these produced in the same local data centers. You will have no latency and no egress charge in between the two parts. And that opens up for a whole new world of new scenarios that you couldn't really do in a cross data center, let's put it like that, hybrid cloud environment. Imagine having your file server in one cloud and your application service, front-end service in another data center, without having to worry about latency or egress charge. We can take full responsibility of the services that you want to hand over, and you can put full focus on the services that you want to be fully self-service on. Not having to wait for someone to do a change on the services where you want to have really the possibility of doing continuous changes and continuous development, but at the same time, handing over responsibility for that file server or database server or whatever service you want someone else to deliver SLA on. In addition to this managed cloud and consumable compute cloud, we can also offer consumption and consultancy and services on top of AWS and Azure, of course. And in addition to that, we can also provide you with hosting and co-location and hardware as a service. And all of these can be combined as a true hybrid cloud environment. Imagine a hybrid cloud environment going all the way from hosting that whatever hardware appliance you still need as part of your environment, all the way through managed self-service and hyperscaler environments. With network, billing, monitoring, backup, etc., as services across all of those cloud deliveries. And all delivered through one dedicated customer team and with one common 24/7 operations center towards you as a customer. I think that's a pretty cool hybrid cloud environment.
Orange Business.